The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, you're listening to or watching live the Angel Rock on UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network, or just UPRN, and I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. We got TikTok going, but hang tight. I just got to do one thing. I got to set up the monitor here. I couldn't believe it. It's like, yes, it's behaving, but I can't do it till we go live. So give me one sec here, because I like to keep an eye on the comments over there, flipping back and forth. Okay, open live monitor. That's what we want. Okay, you're going to behave yourself. There we go. Hopefully it's working. I'll just check, guys. Give me a sec. It's loading. So I see all of you popping in here. It was so nice. I seen you all filing in. I'm glad we are live. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, I know I've had a lot of replays with illness and things like that, but we are here live. TikTok has taken forever to go live. Okay, it's finally live. Good. Okay, so I'll go through my usual, then I go through my housekeeping, and I got a great guest for you. We've been waiting a long time to have her on, and I'm super excited. So again, my name is Lorilei Potvin. I'm a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and mentor. I'm also a registered nurse. I'm well-versed in near-death experiences, having had one as a toddler myself, and studied them professionally and personally for over 40 years. I'm also an animal communicator. I always forget to add that. I'm working on it, but I'm getting better and better. One of my mentors, my mentor, I guess, for animal communication is in the chat. We will say hi to her very shortly. Also, I'm extremely well versed in the paranormal. I always say, didn't go looking for it. It found me. And we've shared some of our story on the Travel Channel's TV show. It's season 4, episode 9, and it's Paranormal Survivor. I think you can find it on YouTube or wherever you can find reruns of Paranormal Survivor on there. So check it out sometime. It's quite interesting. It's not quite the way things happen, but it's still kind of spooky. I hear from other people. So I also want to thank Carnation. They are our sponsor for all the shows here on Monday. We call it Carnation Mondays here on UPRN, and Carnation is a global brand. So if you are out doing some shopping for your household or for yourself and you happen to run into something you need and Carnation provides it, please consider picking it up, because they bring all the wonderful programming here on Mondays here on UPRN, and we're super grateful for them supporting us. So by you supporting Carnation, you continue to support us here too, and we really appreciate it. What else I want to tell you? This network does broadcast to every country in the world, but 80% of our audience is audio only. So I always say, if you can't see us, you can't join the conversation, because this show is very audience participative, and you're going to hear me talking to people in the chat as well as with our wonderful guest as well joining in the conversation. So quickly, I'm going to rattle off where you can see us. Under my name, Lorilei Potvin, or the Angel Rock, I'm on my Facebook profile, LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, which is the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. I'm also streaming to my TikTok under, I believe it's the Angel Rock 1508. I'm also streaming on the network's main YouTube channel, and any other thing I mentioned, well, there's 3 actually. So we are on the Facebook profile under UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network, YouTube channel by the same name, and we are streaming also on Twitch under that name. So I just want to remind you to check out our website. It is getting revamped. It's www.uprntalkradio.com. I hear we are getting a chat room, so that'll be another way you can interact with one another globally, which will be kind of cool. Also, I hear there may be a merch store coming in. I'm excited because I'm always crafting. Who knows, I might be making some things to add Angel Rock merch or keychains, or who knows, if you guys have some ideas of things you want to see, and we will be able to share some of that there. It's coming, so check check it out. Also, don't forget that everything on this network is not just UFO and paranormal and or. We really do have something for everyone. This network's been around for long past 25 plus years, and we do have multiple shows we stream live 7 days a week here. We are adding some new shows from what I understand from our wonderful station manager, Michelle DeRoche. Also going to give her a quick plug. She has a show tomorrow called Beyond the Outer Realm from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And then she also has her main show on Wednesday and Thursday nights here at 9 p.m. Eastern called The Outer Realm. So yeah, be sure to check out her shows as well. Anyways, like I say, we stream or we've been around. Sorry, my brain. I'm a little out of practice, guys. I'm working on it. Like I said, the network's been around for 25 plus years. That's where I was going with Michelle. Yeah, we have some new hosts coming. So I think we're almost up to 45 live hosts on this network by the time everybody joins us in the next few weeks. So check it out because we are live 24 hours a day when we don't have live hosts. So did I put the wrong email up there? Did I put the wrong email? So you sent it to me?
Sorry, Lorilei.
Okay.
You just forgot the A.
Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to introduce you in a minute here, but I don't know why it's doing that. Do you know the email? I had to draft it 3 times. I saved it and it kept forgetting the A.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. I will fix that once.
Maybe it's the universe telling me something.
No, it's not. You're not Tina. We're going to get to Tina in just a minute. Where was I? Okay, yes. So if we're not streaming hosts live 7 days a week, the archive server kicks into the past 25 plus years. So we've got shows from way back in the day. There's always something new and exciting on the network. So check it out. I think I remembered everything to tell you guys. So, one other thing. If you want to watch us on TV, you can. The network does have a TV channel. It's on Roku. So how you're going to find us, you're going to go to Roku's channel store, check out the search button. You're going to type in UFO space P as in paranormal. I think we're about the 3rd or 4th one down in the drop-down list, and you're looking for UFO, paranormal, and United Public Radio, and that's how you can watch us on TV. So I'm going to get to our wonderful guests. Sorry, I'm thinking of a million things. Fixing this all over the place. Wonderful bio, Tina. I promise I will get with the program here. I do need glasses, though, so give me a sec here. So we have on tonight, I've really been looking forward to this. I'm going to tell you before we start that this beautiful soul, this beautiful lady has done a soul plan chart for myself, and we are going to go over it tonight so you guys can see what that looks like. I've seen it, but I don't know what it means. I'm going to find out about it when you guys watch it, so it's going to be pretty exciting. So Tina Beckham is a soul plan practitioner and intuitive guide. She also helps individuals reconnect with their authentic selves through soul plannings, and Tina has very generously prepared a mini soul plan reading for myself, which she's going to be sharing with all of us, including myself for the first time live tonight. And so soul plan, which is a transformative interpretive system rooted in ancient Hebrew numerology and gematria. Love gematria. We'll have to explain that. A lot of people probably won't know what that is. She achieves this by decoding the unique blueprint each soul consciously chose before incarnating into this lifetime, where she provides clarity on worldly and spiritual challenges, innate talents, life goals, and this individual soul destiny. Through her work, clients can gain, let me start over again. Through her work, clients gain profound self-understanding that empowers them to step confidently into their purpose, navigate their incarnated lessons, and make tangible positive changes in their daily lives. Tina also supports families and businesses through strategic name alignments, relationship insights, and sacred baby name. I want to hear more about that too. Born into a lineage of gifted Celtic matriarchs, Tina's path as a psychic, intuitive, and healer has been lifelong. Her journey through diverse human and esoteric challenges has deepened her commitment to helping others understand their current incarnation's greater meaning. With years of study, lived experience, and spiritual questioning, Tina now guides clients to accept who they chose to be, embrace their agreed upon life lessons, and harness their talents to fulfill both their worldly and spiritual destiny. Therefore, by remembering and understanding their authentic selves and earthly mission, they can facilitate authentic, lasting transformation. So welcome, Tina. I love that.
Sorry, it was quite a mouthful, wasn't it? Apologies.
Well, I got through it. Well, okay, so before we start, because that's all I kept thinking of. Darn it, why did it put I can't believe how many times it did that with your name. And good thing I checked when I sent you the link originally through email. I heard Spirit say, check that email again. And I went, what? Not again.
Yeah.
It's not the A. And I almost sent it. So let me fix it up here right now. And then we'll get
No
that
worries.
because I'll be separating on it. Okay. I guess I got to hide it too. Oh, that's how we do it to edit it. Give me a sec. Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Holy
it's crazy.
cow. There.
You know, my name, that the Tina name is a bit of an anathema, because that's the reason that I used to go via Tia, because the N kept disappearing. So now back to T. Now the A is disappearing. Crazy.
You know what? Actually, I remember when you went by Tia. And so now you're back to Tina. It doesn't want the N and the N there. Maybe we got to call you T.
Maybe I should just be T. As my dad used to say, keep it simple.
I'm going to say hi to Michelle Wilfong. She's my moderator over on TikTok, and she does such a phenomenal job, you guys. She's over there right now saying hi and saying happy to see you back. Yes, because I was away for a while, and things are going well with that. You guys have asked about Del. He's still on the mend, but he is doing much better than he was before Christmas, let me tell you. Also, you guys check out Michelle Wilfong. She lives in a haunted apartment, and that's the name of her TikTok channel, and you got to check it out. She gets some pretty crazy stuff on there. So, and I appreciate all the work she does over on TikTok. Like she just knows what to do. Like she's just perfect with it. So I really appreciate that. Let's say hi to everybody first, Tina, and then we're going to jump into all this. So
please
super
do.
excited.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. Okay. So I never highlight them because I find I just spend more time trying to highlight them on the screen. So we got Kate Sterling. We both know Kate. She says, hi, Lorilei and Tina. Looking forward to this show. My animal mentor, animal communicator mentor is Julie Jean Bassett is here. She says, hi, Lorilei and everyone. And you guys, Julie, she's phenomenal. She's helped me with so many of my own animals. I know she's worked with another host on our network, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, who's a good friend. And she has her own show on Spirit Switchboard on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. I recommend her to so many people. So if you guys are listening and you've got a pet that you are pulling your hair out, like you're just like, goodness, why are you doing what you're doing? Like whether it's dangerous. I had a cat that was peeing on my late son's bed all of a sudden, and it stopped after Julie worked with her. She incredible healing knowledge. She's an incredible teacher. I've taken her animal communication course. I've also the beginner one. I've also taken her animal chakra course. So Julie, if you have any courses coming up, please feel free to share them in the chat. And she's also a shamanic practitioner. And I've had a session with her. And Julie, I've been thinking about this. I need to connect with you. I think I'm going to book another one. It was life changing when I had that session. So if you want to connect with her, she's also a medium. So with animals and people too. She does it all. And she blows my mind. I have her on the Angel Rock every few months. And the amount of courses and the gifts that she has, it will blow your mind. So you can check her out at juliejeanbassett.com for the animal communication. And then Whitetail Shamanic Healing for the shamanic things. And then we got my girl here. It's one of my closest friends. I was telling her about her show before, Leanne Clark. She says, hello, everyone. I call her the Crystal Wizardress, but actually she goes by the Crystal Architect on Instagram and Facebook. Her and our other good friend, the trio of us, Debbie A. Anderson, I had them both on about, I think it was it about a month ago, maybe, Leanne, maybe a little bit more than that. And I do a lot of work with Leanne on other things behind the scenes. And I'm so glad she's here. I'm glad you're all here, but I'm so glad she popped in. We got Contessa Martin. She says, hello, Lorilei, as well as Patsy Foister saying hi, Lorilei and Tina. And everybody saying hi to one another, which I love in the chat for you guys. You guys are so good to good people. And of course, how could we forget Miss Azria? Azria, I don't know if I have you booked to come back on. If I don't, I need to send you a link. Azria has been on. She's done some alien DNA on here, but she does so many other things, and she will definitely be coming back on the Angel Rock. Adore the ground she walks on. And I know
and hot off the press. Her book will be out within the next few weeks.
Oh my gosh, what's the name?
I
That was
can't remember off the top of my head, but she'll contact you with it. But yeah, the book is imminent.
oh my
The
gosh,
ISBN will be issued in the next 2 days. So
I'm
no pressure,
so
Andrea.
excited. Azria, please put the name in the chat. And for those of you maybe that haven't been here, my hubby got very, 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 very sick December 20th, even before the week of that, and he was in the hospital for 40 plus days, and ended up with some surgery that we weren't expecting, and a whole bunch of things. So that's why I wasn't around for quite a bit. And then I got sick with this darn flu. But now, knock on wood, we're moving forward. So yes, we definitely have to have Azria back on with her book. I know she was talking about it, but I'm so
Mm.
excited. Congratulations, Azria.
Mm.
And of course, we got, I love to tease Mish most lovingly. And here I say don't highlight, but the way I am here. Mish is over in Australia, so I know it's
Good
the morning. So
day.
thanks.
Great to see you.
Yes, good day. Yes. I don't want to miss anybody. So hang on. I'm scrolling. Everybody says hi to one another, which I just love in our chat. Oh, we got Astrolite Paranormal. And that's Victoria. She was on the Angel Rock a couple of weeks ago. She's absolutely lovely. And I had actually said to her that I maybe because in October we do spooky week here, or spooky month in on UPRN. I said, wouldn't it be cool to get a bunch of girls together and we'll do a paranormal show, like a paranormal panel? Not that we're excluding the boys, but anybody that's been a
The girls
guest
are
who
more
wants,
exciting.
I think it would be fun. I think it would be
Sorry,
lots of
guys.
fun. I think it would be lots and lots of fun. Hang on. We're still scrolling. Hey, you guys are all saying, oh, we got Carrie Fast here. Hi, Carrie. Glad you're here too. And then, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not going to say your name because you're being naughty over on not TikTok, Twitch. So you're welcome to stay otherwise, but we don't want to to see your advertisements. So hang on. Oh, we got Kiara Jade. Welcome. She says hello to everybody. Oh, and Julie just said a soul plan. That sounds super cool. And so does Mish. Soul plan. What we were meant to be doing, she says.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So Carrie wants to share this before we carry on here. She says, I just want to share in the chat. I did an awesome tarot read for a lady yesterday and had a psychometric, I think, isn't it psychometry? Psychometric reading from someone in my tarot group with using my wedding rings. Oh, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And Mish says squirrel. I don't know why, but we'll find out. Oh, we got Lady D here. Oracle of Delphi's here. She says hi, Tina. Let's see. I always try not to miss anybody. She goes, wow, hearts are flying in the chat, Carrie said. I said, yes, I know. I'm scrolling through and you guys are so wonderful to one another. And I just love that. You know, it's nice and you guys all chat. I know you guys have, some of you have become friends and that's so beautiful. We got Lisa Martinello. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. We got Queen Victoria 20 saying, hi, everyone. Okay, so Azria says, thank you. Due in April or May to come on, I think. So can't wait. The book's definitely out now. The Frequency of Truth, you guys. So by Azria. You're just using Azria, I believe, right? Or is she using her last name?
The book is Azria Beckham.
Oh, so she is using her last
name, yeah.
And that should give you guys a little hint. Last name. and our guest's last name. So
not that I'm plugging my daughter in any way, shape, or form.
I know, but I didn't talk about that. I figured she would be here, but if she's using Azria Beckham, I think we can.
She's actually looking after the dogs for me. So.
Oh, well, you could have had the puppies here. That would have been okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have been able to concentrate though, Lorilei.
Oh, that bad?
Well, when I work, I have them. I sort of have one pup on one side and one pup on the other, and the other one across my feet. So, and then when they want something, they hit the keyboard, and then everything just goes west.
Okay. My girl. Sorry, I have a bit of a delay. I should have warned you of that before. So please forgive me if I start to talk over you. I'm just saying hi to everybody. Got a bunch of people popping in over on TikTok, which is lovely. My dog is at the end of the bed. So sometimes she'll just, and she's a German Shepherd, but she thinks she's a lap dog. So she'll jump on top of me. So
Love it. Love it.
mhm. And we welcome the pets here. And I think people love to see that too. But if they bump the keyboard, that would be kind of hard, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A home isn't a home without a four-legged.
I agree wholeheartedly. And I have one cat. Everybody knows her. She hasn't shown up on screen lately because she's naughty ever since she's been born. And she only weighs about, probably just over 1.5 kilograms or about
Oh,
three
wow.
pounds. She looks like a kitten. She's not.
Oh,
She's 8 years old.
wow.
And she will not use a litter box. So it doesn't matter. She's not sick.
Yeah.
And I noticed something very interesting when my hubby was in the hospital. Would you believe she never, ever, ever once went anywhere except till I got home? So she used the litter box.
Oh,
And I mean, I was gone especially because my hubby stayed at actually a local motel here that had one main floor versus going up and down stairs for a few weeks. So I stayed over the weekend, and of course I only have one son left now, but he would come and check obviously on everybody and make sure they were fed. Not one accident. And then within an hour
wow.
coming home, little monkey went again.
Yeah.
If there's trouble, she's
Yeah.
the one that's in trouble.
I love it.
We got Greg Koss here saying, hello, Tina and Lorilei. Hi, Greg. I have
Hi.
not been ignoring you. Oh, Julie says, let me know if I can help. I've been thinking of you, Julie, because I keep trying to connect with her and saying, what is going on with you? What I do believe, mind you, less is more, but I know you'll pick up probably this and more. I am starting to believe that she doesn't like a covered litter box. She's been like that. I was there the day she was born. Like, she's been like that since she started using a litter box. And I think that's part of it, plus territorial type stuff.
It's all my home, all my home.
Well, I think she does it to the dog, though. I think it's about the dog. Like, and she's very, very she's very, very territorial about me. So when I'm not here, it makes sense, right? I don't need to mark anything, but mom's back home, so now I'm going to mark things. So
Cat syndrome.
Yes, just like all kids, right?
Yeah, exactly. The smallest ones make the most noise.
Yes. Oh, Lady D says, Tina, you look like you were getting younger. You look great.
Oh, bless you, Dee.
And I agree.
And I love you too.
So let's talk about you. So tell me about you. You were talking a little bit about your history of being born. No, I hope from memory, Celtic, you said?
Yeah. My grandmother.
For me, tell me a little bit about it. Like, how did you get into this line of work, discover your gifts?
It was my grandmother.
Okay.
I mean, I come from a long matriarch of women that were either travelers or were wise women in their areas. Predominantly my mother and her mother were very much Londoners. So they were it was unusual in London to have wise women there, but my grandmother got a very big community around her of women that all helped each other where they wouldn't necessarily have done in the past. And my grandmother just used to, I used to say to her, why do you give everything away? Why do you give everything away? And she used to say, well, if I give it away, I'll get it back, Ducky. And my grandmother was never without anything. If the child was sick, she would take them to the hospital. Or she would say, actually, you know what? Leave them at home. Everything's going to be all right. The great thing about my grandmother was she used to read the fire. So we used to have an open fire in the lounge. And I would sit there on her knee and she would show me the fire sprites and the dragons.
Oh my gosh, that was so incredible.
Yeah. And the night before my grandfather died, she called my dad and my mum and myself over, and she said, you know, you need to come and sit with Granddad. And we said, I mean, he'd been ill for a long time, but wasn't expected. And she said, tonight's going to be, and we were all there for when he died. She saw it. She saw the hole appear in the fire, and she actually knew almost the time of death by the size of the hole. It's absolutely incredible.
Did she explain to you? Sorry to interrupt, but did she explain to you how she would know by the hole in?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I Azria will tell you, whenever I get a chance, I'm out there with a fire pit. Unfortunately, I don't
but what
have
does
a fire
that mean for people listening or watching? Because the hole in the fire, like what does that look like? Or
it looks like it's literally it's literally you've got this beautiful fire going, and you've got all the embers going and the flames going, and then the flames will literally wrap around each other, and it's almost like there's a vortex in the middle.
Interesting. Okay.
And there's a small vortex, but when it comes to fruition, it was literally on the left-hand side of the fire, and it was there. And my grandmother threw in all different types of things like herbs and spices and everything, and she used to talk in her Celtic way to make sure that my grandfather's passing would be good, and we would sit around the fire. So Samhain was a big time for us in our family, you know, because we know, like, the bonfire was a bone fire, so they would eat lots of meat and throw it on the fire for having an auspicious winter so that we wouldn't run out of food. It was all that type of stuff that we would do. And in the spring, you know, it was very much about clearing and again, fires again, burning the old winter, making sure that everything was good and we could plant stuff ready for the spring and the summer. So my grandmother was Celtic. She was very, very pagan, very earth driven, and her cousins had and even had a greater connection because they were actually Romany gypsies.
Oh, okay. That's why I wondered when you said travelers that there had to be a bit of gypsy in there. Okay.
Yeah. And they were travelers from, actually my father came from an Irish background in County Cork, and my grandmother came from more of an eastern, more of the Pictish side, from the Eastern European. So my grandmother was a very, very forceful, very strong woman, where my grandfather was very, very gentle and very soft. And it was, well, you know, we're not going to do it this way, dear. We're going to do it that way, dear. And my grandmother said, you want to bet? You know? It was fabulous household to be brought up in. Absolutely fabulous.
But that's probably why it worked, right? Like my ex-husband used to say to me, because he's very much an introvert, he used to say there can only be one rock star in the family, because I'm really introverted, or not introverted, very extroverted, and, you know, love a good party and people, and he would always be in the background, just sitting there very quietly.
Yeah,
right?
that was my that was my grandfather, and my grandmother knew things were going to happen before they even. I mean, I remember my ex-husband many years ago rang up my nan to tell her that we'd had this beautiful baby girl. Mm-hmm. And she picked the phone up and she said, I know, it's a girl. I know, your grandfather's already told me. I know. And her name's going to begin with an A. Haven't got all the letters yet.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Though lady, he is asking questions. She says, is the hole in the fire a portal to the next dimension?
Yes. It's a portal through to the afterlife. Absolutely.
Because that always
my grandmother would prepare it.
That always fascinates me, how people figure that out, right? But like, what a beautiful way to grow up. Of course, not without difficulties, all of us growing up, but the fact that you had such strong women in your family and that pagan belief system, like where I come like from my lineage, I have on my dad's side, my dad's one of 17 children. And
Wow.
well, my grandmother was not a pleasant lady. Sorry, but she
Mm.
wasn't. She was from Belgium, and my grandfather was French, Roman
Oh,
Catholic, and apparently she was pregnant every year for 25 years and ended up with 17
wow.
children. So I have about 150 cousins on my dad's side, because some of the daughters had like 12 kids, and a good
Wow.
Roman Catholic family, right?
Yeah.
But as I understand, my grandmother had psychic intuitive gifts, and I always
Yeah.
say, as far as I know, I'm the only one out of the psychic spiritual closet. Now, I mean, some of my other relatives could be, but they're just not out there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't talked about, and it wasn't like, what a way to.
No, it wasn't.
Mhm,
And my grandmother made sure that she talked about it to me, because other than within her cousins,
mhm.
like my father didn't want to, my father used to call my grandmother the old witch,
Oh,
oh, she'll know
oh,
it anyway, type of thing, and his brothers and sisters, they never, it was sort of the unspoken thing. And it started off being my Fridays with my grandmother, and that they were my teaching times. And then as I got older, I mean, as soon as she held Azria, she said, now this is the child that I can teach.
oh,
And she
wow.
knew immediately
Mhm.
that she had the gift.
Well, I know Azria talked about her grand on here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know
She
she
was
did.
she was an incredible force of nature. Absolutely incredible, right up until the time she died. And it was lovely during her passing. She was actually explaining her mother and what she looked like and where she was. And she introduced me, even though I couldn't see her. I knew there was something there, but I didn't get it. But she was taught when my grandmother was drifting in and out, and my mother was just talking, thinking, these two have just gone completely balmy. So in the end, we
And
told them
most
to
people
get a
do
cup of
think
tea,
that.
But it was the most amazing experience, my grandmother's passing. It really was.
Wow. Well, I've worked in palliative care as a
Mm,
nurse, and love the technical stuff, love to work in critical care when, I mean, I'm not working and won't be able to go back to work physically, just because of a work-related back injury, but I love
mm,
that kind of stuff, and I would never
mm,
have thought until I worked out in the community how incredibly powerful and rewarding it
mm,
is
mm,
to work with someone and a family when they choose to pass,
mm,
I always say, from this lifetime into whatever their
mm.
next journey, wherever they go, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm talking with a friend of mine, and she's worked in and out of the funeral industry all her life, and she's now thinking of setting up her own business and of being a midwife
I looked at
for
it.
for people that are passing, because these pure cremations and that are so common now, but families and people on palliative care are desperate to have something before the funeral now. So that's a very, very interesting um an interesting scenario that we're going through at the moment. So watch this space.
Cool, because it's Leanne just added Tina. What a beautiful story
Oh,
about
bless
your
you. Thank you, Leanne.
So I don't like the name here. And I say, if I can get this back of mine working enough that I could go back into it, I would so
Mm.
absolutely do this line of work. It's called a death doula, which it kind of sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what you just said, midwife. I was
Yeah.
thinking midwifery because I worked in the NICU and maternal newborn and a bit of labor and
Oh,
delivery. I love
beautiful.
that. I actually looked back in the day
Mm,
at looking at becoming a midwife, but I would have had to leave my kids to,
mm,
wasn't the right time. So I
mm,
love that you use that term
mm.
midwife, because I think
Yeah.
that's it's a much more nurturing, loving, positive name than death
Mm.
doula, right?
I
But
mean, I look at it that, I mean, I love that. I just briefly, I mean, I love the story where you've got the two babies in the womb, and there's one twin says to the other one, I wonder what it's like out there,
yeah,
life after birth. And the other one's going, there's nothing out there. There's just darkness. There's nothing. And the other one's going, no, but I've heard that there's light. And our mother doesn't feed us anymore. And there's things like food, and we can touch things and that. And the other one's going, no, I don't think so. So that was where sort of, I'm assuming that the term, the midwife came from, because literally you're just going through another door, aren't you? Because a midwife brings the baby into this life. And so you're taking the baby, the new young soul that will be on the other side, over to their next phase.
Well,
I just think it's so beautiful.
Well, the beauty with midwifery too is that they can provide pre-birth care, obviously, and it just doesn't stop, like say with a doctor, and I'm not dissing doctors, at least, and I can only speak over here, but they deliver the baby, and then some people go home within an hour or two, up to 12 hours after birth, you go home, and then there's nothing. With a midwife, they follow up, and that's what I love, that the fact that when you said midwife and end of life care, because like I can remember when I did it out in the community, you'd get someone, usually was pretty healthy, not always, but had just received a terminal diagnosis and had decided they wanted to pass it home. And so it's not just dealing with the family member, supporting and caring for the entire unit, whomever they may live with, or their support people, right? And it's so rewarding. And I keep talking about this year, hopefully I can get off my butt and write. I've got 3 books in the works, and the last one I'm working on is I'm collecting stories from nurses, responders, and also I'm going to say death doulas. I don't like that term, though. I like the midwife better.
The midwife's time. And the great thing is the midwife has exactly the same role on the death of the person, because the person that's actually dying, there has been a built-up trust with the midwife around the palliative care, and the knowing of actually what's going to happen to them, what's going to happen with the husk, to make sure that everything is going to be carried out to their wishes. And this person that they've entrusted this to will also support the family for however long afterwards that they're needed.
And I love that, because where I was going with this book is I'm collecting stories of the most incredible, amazing, unexplainable, and sometimes miraculous things that happen when somebody passes from this lifetime into the next. And we've collected quite a few stories already. I've had a few of my own that have been really, really fascinating. Like, for example, in this neighborhood where I live, just incredible, the neighbors that we have. Like, I tell them every single day, I swear I do, every single day I talk to them. And I've been in this house for 6 years, because the previous home, when I got rid of my home and I'm now in a townhouse, it was like a whole neighborhood had been affected by that paranormal activity. My neighbors, like when my husband was in the hospital, like didn't even ask, just came over, took care of the snow. One of my neighbors went and used a snowblower to put a path from my house to theirs in case I need anything. It's just wonderful.
Wow.
But where I'm going with that is one of the neighbors got very ill, and very quickly, and not this year, last year, I think it was at the end of September, got sick, found out they were terminal, and they were gone by December 17th.
Wow.
They had decided that they did not want to die in a hospital, but they didn't know if it was possible. And so, I mean, I'm not sitting here tooting my own horn, but I just feel so grateful for the experiences I had. I was able to give them that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And actually, the hospital, they don't want palliative care in there. Hospices are full. Acute units are absolutely bursting at the seams. But when you have a very, very sick patient, hospital at home can't always look after them. So to get the patient to that point, and actually I only did I renewed my hospital life support for my day job last week. And some of the things that are happening around end of life now about moving people out of the system and back home, and the support networks in the community now, is really, really quite beautiful. It really is. So at last, all the agencies in the UK are starting to come together, even though it's financially driven. Well, it has to be, otherwise it doesn't happen, does it?
Well,
But
here it's different because it's funded by our government. So I'm really discovering with having supports here at home for my husband how let's just say it's not been a positive experience. And
no,
I have said this, especially in the last week, and Leanne can vouch, because thank God for Leanne. Not that I don't have other friends, but my God, I shouldn't have been there. I swear I would have went crazy with the stuff I had seen in the hospital, never
yeah,
mind at home. And, nobody wants to hear you. And all I kept saying was, my God, my heart breaks for people that have no medical
yeah,
knowledge, and you're being told this stuff by somebody who's never met you and
yeah,
just decides that you're being cut off, or you're not getting this service, you're not getting that.
yeah,
And how can you assess somebody from talking to them on the phone for 30 seconds? Like, it's like
yeah.
no empathy, no care,
No,
no nothing. So hope we've got a long way to go with things. So that gives me a lot of hope if things are changing over in the UK.
things are changing on that score, but what you're saying is happening in the US is still, unfortunately, since
Well, I'm
COVID,
in Canada.
happening here.
I'm in Canada.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and Canada, and Australia as well, I believe.
Mhm.
We're all in the same boat here. It's not good. It
Mhm.
really isn't. There's no time. There's no empathy. I mean, I know when my mum was in hospital, I mean, I was working by her bedside on my laptop because I could, because I made sure I was working in that hospital. But if I hadn't have been there with a lanyard around my neck, I was seeing what was happening to other patients,
Well, I haven't
and
asked
I
you, are
was
you
stepping in
comfortable?
there.
Are you comfortable sharing? I always joke and say it's the muggle job, but are you
Yeah,
comfortable sharing what your day job is?
my day. Oh, I'm an audiologist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I love that for you. That's
yeah.
cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, 48 years of doing that. Yeah.
I
So,
diagnosed my eldest son, not that I can diagnose as a nurse, but he has, okay, what's it called again? Oh God, my mind just went blank. But anyways, he could, what happens with him even as an adult now? Central
mm.
auditory processing disorder. I knew it would come
Oh,
back.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah,
I've got brain fog from this flu. I don't know why, but I do, because I've got a phenomenal memory normally. So anyways, as a little kid, I
mm.
noticed, and I had chronic ear infection. Sorry guys, we're talking all over tonight. We're gonna get to the soul part, I promise. But
I can do a quick soul plan.
no, but I know you can. And so he was like, he was actually
Yeah,
deaf, like completely deaf in both
yeah,
ears with the ear infections. Anyways, when he did actually not have any ear infection though, and they'd notice as he got older and he talked to maybe a little friend about going to a
yeah,
house or their house or something, and he'd always say, can you tell my mom that on the phone? Or I'd
yeah,
talk to him, but I'd be behind him. And it
yeah,
was like he couldn't hear me. I had to come around in front of him, or if
yeah,
there was noise in the background. And so I started looking this up. Like, my son's 31 now, and he was a
yeah,
little kid. And I remember saying to my husband at the time, oh my gosh, I think he's got central auditory processing disorder.
yeah,
And so brought him in, sure enough, diagnosed him, like
yeah,
major, like serious case of it. And he's
yeah.
still this way. Like, can't have
Wow.
any background noise, or, I mean, he's
Yeah,
learning to cope with it, obviously, but that
yeah.
can be quite
I
distracting.
mean, there are some major listening strategies that I can help you with that.
Oh, we
But
might share that. We will have to talk about that after. And thank
we
you.
will have that. We'll have
Let's share
coffee.
some comments here. I knew we were going to have fun because people are sharing some of their experiences as well. Oh, Julie says about the cat, about the litter boxes. A lot of cats don't like the covered boxes. I'm going to add Julie, because I think that's what I'm picking up from her.
Yeah,
Just to add, but I had always been, from research and looking at things and having had cats my whole life, that you'd think they'd want the enclosed space because it
mm,
would be safe, like a safe space. But you're vulnerable when you're in there, right? I guess if you want it open, so you can kind of keep an eye all around you rather than being in a
yeah.
box. Makes sense. So thank you for sharing that. Um, Greg Koss says, I have a group at 6 o'clock, so I won't be around too long, and hugs. He says, going to message later. Great, perfect, wonderful. So thank you for popping in. Hang on. Lady D says, wow, fascinating. Still learning so much about you, Tina. And then Carrie adds, I had midwives for 2 deliveries, would not have had it any other way. At the time, we had to pay because our healthcare did not cover. It was amazing. Wow. That because Carrie's in Canada too, but she's in a different province. So Kiara Jade says, I wanted a midwife and home delivery, but no luck around here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she says, my mom was in palliative care before she passed. And then I had my cousin, sorry, she says, I had my cousin who is a medical doctor translate for my mom's doctor and tell me her opinion. Interesting. Well, when you were talking about being at the bedside, and that's the other reason why I'm so passionate about this, is many people think that their loved one is hallucinating. And I'm telling you from a professional, but also from a spiritual, intuitive perspective, I guarantee you your loved one, if they're seeing, and it's making sense, or they're seeing angels, or they're talking to someone there, I believe their loved ones and their guides and even pets show up to help them across the veil. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, 100%. I mean, my mum, I used to sit by the side of her bed, and we used to sit and we used to watch old movies, and we used to sort of hold hands. When she first went into the hospital, it was, this horrible white wall in front of me with literally within a couple of weeks. She'd sit there and she'd moan to herself. And she went, can you see that? And I went, what? There's something up. Those people over there. She said, hang on a minute. Can you put it on the shelf? I don't want it put there. Put it on the shelf. Can you just come back later? I mean, look, Bette Davis is at a critical point in this film. Come back later. So then she'd go, right, can you switch it back on now? And she would literally go from talking to them to talking to me. I mean, it was absolutely tangible. And I know for a fact that the love of my mum's life came to collect her, because I have never seen a look on her face like she had the day before she died.
I hear you. And the other thing I'm writing about too, and I've heard some nurses talk about their jobs in palliative care, which I'm very grateful for, but I named it a long time ago. And again, it's not my name. It's not like, it's just something that just seemed to have come to me. I call it the gift. And I always explain to people, if you don't experience this with a loved one, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong. It just means that maybe it wasn't necessary. But what it is when, and you probably have seen this yourself, when someone is very near, usually within about 24 to 36 hours, usually about 24 hours, and they're usually comatose if they're passing from that type of illness, being palliative, and all of a sudden they wake up and they're completely lucid.
Yes, lucid. Yeah, absolutely. And you think, they're recovering, and then they go.
I'm going to tell you a home care case I had, and it still sits with me. It was a very staunchly Roman Catholic Italian family, and their beloved dad and husband was passing away, and I knew, there's physical signs as well, and I happened to be there, and he woke up. And he asked to eat, and he wanted his favorite foods, and he was able to have, just like there wasn't a thing wrong with him. Well, this family, because of their religious beliefs, believed it was a miracle healing. And that was so difficult, because you certainly don't ever want to break someone's hope. But to try and explain, that has really stayed with me for years. Thankfully, we were able to explain to them what was going on. And again, I think that's where the word came from. I think maybe it was spirit working through me at that time, and explaining that this actually was a real gift, and to be able to have those, because I think they got about 6 hours with their loved one. So
that's a long.
That's unusual. Very unusual.
That's a long time. I've sort of seen maybe half an hour top whack.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Incredible.
That's why they had thought it was a miracle, right?
Yeah.
And you can't blame them.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Oh, I see we got Heidi Gall popping in. Hi, saying hi from Colorado. And then Kevin says, hi, Lorilei. Hi, Tina. Just tuning in now. Had a surprise extra work day. Got out in time for second half of the show. Well, we're glad you're here. I always call him by his middle name, Kevin. Okay, let's get into your work that you were doing. That was
Okay.
a muggle job. Geez, how can you tell I'm a Harry Potter fan? So now that you have this wonderful upbringing and
Yeah.
you are doing incredible things with the gifts that you have, can we talk about that? Like, how did you know you could do soul plans and, the work that you're doing? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's been an evolution, really. I mean, I started like you, as a medic.
Mhm.
There had to be scientific proof between,
Yep.
Everything. If there wasn't a paper written on it, it didn't exist.
Mhm.
um, and then I went through a bit of a tough time at work, and I thought, oh well. And my other half at the time said to me, look, there's a psychic fair on, there's a wellness thing. Why don't you go? And I went, oh, do I really want to go? Anyway, I walked in there and I felt like a square peg in a round hole.
Mhm.
But this chap came over to me and he said, I do Reiki healing. And I went, you do a what? And he said, you need something. Anyway, I sat down and he did Reiki on me. And it was like the biggest peace I'd felt in weeks. And I thought, I've got to have some of this. There must be something in this. So I thought, well, start off gingerly. So I thought, do something that is tangible, a bit medical. So I went through the normal reflexology, aromatherapy, that score. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll have a go at doing Reiki myself. And that sort of all fell into place and got my mastership with that. And then I met an amazing woman called Sylvia Hartman, and she does an incredible amount of energy work, and she now works with the matrix and all sorts of things. But I learned, I think it was emo trance was the first energy work I did with her. It's gone into different formats now, and that was it. I was
Okay, so what is emo trance? I've never heard that. I think I've heard Sylvia's name, but I've never heard of emo trance.
So it's working. It's basically working with energy, working with other people's energy. It's very much a somatic way of working. So you're feeling unloved, you're feeling unworthy. Where do you feel it in your body? What is it like? Where is the blockage? What's the color? How does it feel like?
Okay.
And then you repeat that to them, and then you clear it, and then you get them to it's really great because you end up doing this great dance all around the room and kicking it out and pulling it out and changing the color and changing the concepts. And how about if I said this to you? And what about if I said that to you? How does that make you feel better? And you end up going around the room and doing all this dancey stuff. And then it's like they've built this big brick wall up. And then what you're doing is you're shooting an arrow through and you've made a little hole. And then gradually you're breaking down this whole brick wall. And it's a whole energetic concept. And then they just go away with all this. And they've got their own energy work. And it's pretty much job done. Wow. So that sort of got me hooked into that, which I then went and did some EFT and matrix repatterning. And then I had sort of got into Bruce Lipton and epigenetics and learning stuff around that. And then I did NLP. I didn't have the words or I couldn't ask the questions that I needed to get the answers for. And I needed to find a way of actually learning how to communicate better, because as an audiologist, as you know, I can talk. I can talk for the entire UK, but I couldn't listen, ironically. That was in my astrology chart as well. So I had to learn not only the reason I couldn't talk properly was because I wasn't listening and I wasn't actively listening. Maybe I had a bit of auditory processing disorder going on there. So I went through to that, and I do a lot of somatic coaching as well. I do NLP and M-braining as well, about the multiple brains, the counseling with the
Never heard of that. I haven't heard of that.
It's awesome. So, Leon, long story short, centuries ago, when Leonardo da Vinci first drew his organs,
Okay.
he drew the first organ of the body to be formed, heart. Everything comes out the heart. He drew the heart with brain cells in it. But
they're finding that now. They're finding that now with research.
Exactly. So the theory there is if everything comes out the gut must think.
And the gut too, they're finding, all connected, gut, heart, and brain.
Heart and our head. So I then started using embraining, which is the brain, the heart brain, the gut brain. And then you can also bring in the anger liver brain and the pancreas, the clearing brain. But that's just my thing. But it's the three brains in embraining are the main sign of it. And within my work, so my specialization in audiology is tinnitus and sensitivity to noise. So all my patients live in their head. They haven't got a body. They don't know what goes down there. They don't know what goes on out there, but they know what goes on in here. So it's bringing them out of their head into their heart and then into their gut. And the gut gives you the movement. I've got a gut.
So it's kind of like connecting mind, body, soul, but it's
like
connecting the three,
it's like doing a massive dot to dot. And then you do the energy clearing, and then you do the somatic dancing, and
that's so cool.
And that's where I am now. But then I thought, okay, so that's all about being physically here. Why are we here?
Yeah, everybody asks that. Why are we here?
Why am I? Okay, we know, we've got this husk, we've got free will, we know we've got past lives. So I did timeline when I did my NLP, I did my timeline therapy, and that works. And NLP in the mastership, you bring in your ancestors, and you can bring in Martin Luther King, you can bring in anyone to help you do it. Okay. And then you think, well, hang on a minute. And then I've got my guides. So how do my guides know where to find me? Where does this contract start? So then I started looking at Akashic records.
Right.
And then I was drawn to this little thing called the soul plan. And back in the day, it was virtually not heard of. And so it was a guy called what was his name? Alpa. Oh gosh, I'm not doing him justice. Where's my notes?
Probably come. That's what's been happening.
Frank Alpa. That's him. Frank Alpa. So in the last century, he took all the wisdom of Plato and Gematria, which is the Star of David, guys. It's just a posh name for the Star of David that we would know it as, or as it is in the Hebrew text. And he took all the Plato and all that and channeled it. And he channeled the Akashic records, and he came up with the basic soul plan. And he wrote an amazing book and all about the Atlantean paddles. And him and his wife have done a lot of work. And then there's this amazing guy in London, Blue Marsden, and he's from the Psychic College in London. And he has the gift, and he has taken the initial work of Frank to another level, and he's brought it into the 21st century and has made it a far more inclusive, far more meditative experience. So what I've done for you today is I've written your soul plan, but ideally what I would have done if we were having a proper soul planning session, before I read you the soul plan, we would do a very deep meditation. We would sit with it, and we would agree to accept everything that was coming through and to do a clearing of things that weren't necessary from this lifetime and past lifetimes. And then
I probably need that.
Yeah. And then once I'd actually gone through the soul plan with you, we would then go into a clearing.
Okay.
And then after the clearing, we would then go up, and I would take you up to the Akashic records. I would push you through the door, and then I would read you your message, and you would get your learnings, and then we'd bring you back down, and then we'd ground you,
That is
and then
so
you'd move on. And that
cool.
would be your soul plan. Yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe
a really cool experience.
I'll have to book with one with you.
Yeah,
Because
sure,
just
sure.
or
Love it.
anybody else listening, do you hear how cool this is? And you're going to see what
Yeah.
a mini one looks like. Hold that thought. Kevin says Tina's stories are so fascinating. He
Oh,
says
bless you.
so.
Thank you.
But he reminds me he does, because I'm supposed to do station ID. But once I get really engrossed and I'm talking, it's like, or my guest is talking.
Sorry.
So let me do it. He reminded me. And so you guys, if you're just tuning in, you are listening live to UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network, or just UPRN. This is the Angel Rock. I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. And this amazing, beautiful lady we have next to me, if you're watching, is Tina Beckham. And we're just about to jump into the mini soul plan that she has done for myself. She was just talking before we did the station ID here about what's really involved in a full session. And like I just said before, I said hold the thought, but I wanted to do the station ID. Thank you for reminding me, Kevin. I think I need a session myself, because this is pretty cool and pretty involved. Again, what else I want to add? Don't forget to check out many of the other shows and hosts on the network. We stream multiple shows daily, 7 days a week live. We are adding a whole bunch of new hosts and shows, not all just UFO and paranormal. So the website is getting revamped. It's www.uprntalkradio.com. And I hear through the grapevine we're supposed to be getting a chat room and a merch store. And I will throw in, we're not going anywhere, but stay tuned, because there's a couple other shows after mine tonight already. But right after us is Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron with the Light Gate. So you guys may want to check that out. All right. So do you want me? Oh, what did Miss say? Pretty sure you do a station ID at the start of the show. Yes, I do. I always do it before. And then that's why it's quick in the middle. So do you want me to pull the soul plan up, or do you maybe want to explain what gematria is before we start?
Okay. Let me explain it. Mm-hmm. Let me explain it, because we've got the lovely people in the radio that are going to go, oh my God, I'm missing out on here. So I'll try and explain it as clearly as I can.
There is a video that we will talk about this. There's always a video. There'll be a video on YouTube under UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. There will be one on my YouTube channel, The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin, right after this, and also on Facebook under Lorilei Potvin, and then UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network page on Facebook. But Joe, who is the owner of the network, we broadcast actually out of New Orleans, Louisiana, out of his beautiful home and off in the bayou in New Orleans. And he usually, I think it takes him about a week or so, when he gets everybody's shows all listed, he then uploads them to the server, and then they go out to anywhere. Like I'm talking the most obscure apps I have found, UPRN, to many of the biggest ones out there. You'll find wherever talk radio or podcasts are carried, you'll find UPRN on there. So there's always a copy. I wanted to throw that in there. So go ahead. I'll stop. Zip it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So first of all, we start off with your birth name.
Okay.
Because your birth name holds the vibrations and the frequency for the soul.
Do you want me to pull that up while you're talking? Because I didn't know if you wanted to explain gematria or what, but I'll just leave it to you. So let me pull it up while we're talking. So you start with my birth name, you said? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
So we've got,
Go ahead.
So your birth name is derived from the sound vibration of your original birth name. So say if your dad, your mum and dad had decided that your name was going to be Jack Jones, and your dad's gone down the pub, and he then goes and registers your name and he spells it wrong. There is a reason why it's spelled wrong, is because that is the contract that you actually made. So what we've got here is we've got your soul plan, your beautiful soul plan. And as you can see, the gematria is 2 triangles. So there's one triangle that points downwards, and that is your worldly chart. So that is around the I am. So that is really from your birth. We say to your mid-30s, but for some people, it can go up until they're 40. And I've done soul plan charts where someone of 28 has gone, nope, that was me then, not now. And then the triangle going upwards, that is your spiritual. That is your spiritual chart. And that is when you get to the point of you go, okay, but what do I do now? It's almost like your pre-midlife crisis.
Well, I'm going to be 61 in August, so I don't know where I am in there.
Love it. I love it. So what this does, so we take the name as it appears on your birth chart, which a lot of people absolutely scream about that. But that is the core. That is the core of your being. People say to me, well, what about, my name is James, but they call me Jimmy. And I resonate with Jimmy. I don't resonate with James. Well, all that means is that the James side are the main challenges, lessons, goals of your life.
Okay.
But the Jimmy had to come in as a different energy to help you achieve that sometimes, because sometimes within our birth name, so you've got your talents that you're born with, you've got your challenges where your talents help with, and then your challenges but will stop your goals. So sometimes you need an extra layer. So you've got like your cake, which is your birth name, but sometimes you need some filling and you need some icing to make it all palatable and to make it all go and work the way that it should. So sometimes I get people with sometimes 5, 6 names.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes, I can do a soul plan for people that are talking about getting married, and you have their birth name and you have the names that they're known by, the names that they met by, the pet names that they have. And so you put all that together. So
that's going to make it really complicated.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great fun. It's amazing what you can unpick. So what we start with, let's get into the crux of it. So we start off on the right-hand side, as I'm looking at it, at the top with the triangle going down. So these are your worldly challenges. So it's a double number that's there. And this is about service. So your early life was about, remember, it's about the I, it's about the practical, it's about the physical you. So this is about nursing, practical service, being useful, being wanted. And we've got here a 10-1. So they're your vibrational numbers, which then represents the Hebrew letter Elf. And with yours, it is the mother letter. It is the first letter. It is Pluto. It is air. It is unity. And it's paired with the Hebrew letter Yod, which is the hand, the arm, the closed hand. It's the Virgo. It's work. It is the androgynous energies of the divine. It is very, very powerful earth energies, very grounded. You needed that to get through your childhood, to get through your service, to move things forward, because you had to have that, because things were a bit ethereal around you, a bit airy fairy, and you were the grounded one. You were the one that's, I don't want that. I'm not doing that. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to make this happen. This is where I'm going. You were very, very determined on what you were doing. And it was a big, big challenge for you to be your own person.
Oh, yeah.
Within your challenge. And it's intense. So it was a double number. So, like you had a double whammy. And it's very much something that you had to go through. And it's almost like you had to deny your spirit. So you had to have that wild child energy. Maybe the temptation was there, I'll go.
Can I ask you though? Okay, so I know now that as a little girl, like 3 and 4, I still remember talking to my guides at the end of my bed. Now, this is not something I could ever discuss within my family.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask you, have you found that most of us that are in this field, like the healing field, especially in the spiritual field, most of us have not had this beautiful Leave It to Beaver, Brady Bunch type of.
Nobody.
We've had a lot of difficulty as children moving forward into adulthood. 'Cause that's what I'm feeling and picking up. And most people I meet in our field.
Lots of trauma.
Yes.
Lots and lots of trauma that sometimes comes out of nowhere. You have this most beautiful child and suddenly this whole big trauma thing happens to them. And they have to work. It's almost like a trial to get them out of thinking the way and being within the societal network that they've been born into, very, very much. So you had to work harder than most to hold on to your spiritual gifts and to claim them as yours. So you had to prove yourself more than others because you always felt that you were separate. You also had that feeling of, well, there's all those great people out there and they're channeling and they're doing this and they're seeing ghosts and that. Why? That can't be me. That can't be me. But you know what? I'm the Earth Mother, so I'm going to go and help and I'm going to go and be the nurse because I can show how good I am with my skills, with my physical skills. And that's how you got your validation.
You know how I embrace my gifts, I'm going to tell you, okay? And I never realized I've been using them my entire life, been connection with spirit. Even my roommate, who was my best friend, we were each other's maids of honor back in the day. When I actually told her, this would have been about 15 years ago, that I work as a psychic medium, I thought she was going to be like, oh my God, are you're off your rocker, you're balmy, you've gone off, like you've lost it, okay? And you know what she said to me? I'm not surprised at all. I said, what do you mean you're not surprised at all? And she said, oh God, Laura, when we lived together, there were things you would know or you'd tell me or you'd say, and like you always knew. And I go, you never said a word about it. She goes, no. She goes, so I'm not shocked. But how I embraced my spiritual gifts, believe it or not, was through the horrific, extreme paranormal experience we had in our previous home. Because I was searching for answers. What happened? Where did this come from? Why are we going through this? So this all fits with what you're talking about with, it was there. I was starting to pick up that path. I had started working with angel cards and things already. And then it was like all hell broke loose in our home.
And the one thing I will tell you that's come up in your soul plan that you might find very interesting at that point, there was almost a soul fragmentation there.
Yes.
They were after you. They really were.
Since a little girl. I remember my first paranormal experience at about 3.5, 4. Then when we moved to a new home when I was 8 years old, brand new, built up from the ground. Nothing had been there. It was a brand new development in the city. Every night, I knew nothing about the paranormal. I knew nothing about this at 3 a.m. I would wake up completely unable to breathe, like I was being choked. And it went on for months. I think they put me on asthma medication because they didn't know what else to do. And it finally stopped. And I've never had, I've had this my whole life, these creepy, weird, icky kind of normally things.
Yeah, you're a very precious soul. They all want a part of you, darling. That's the thing.
Oh, thank you. I don't want them.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So we move down now to your worldly talents, which is a 4/4.
Okay.
Which is the Hebrew letter Dalet, which literally means door. So basically, if someone knocks on your door, you open the door and there is this positive, radiant, abundant, generosity that's on the other side that is you.
That's
So the planet is the sun. That's creativity, fertility, abundance. So you are literally a ray of sunshine. And that is why they came after you. So, but this ray of sunshine was so big, it could work against your challenges.
I have been told that, by the way, over the years, when I was trying to discover.
Yeah.
And I never believed it because it sounded arrogant to me at the time. But the reason why this was happening, they were trying to stop me from doing what I was meant to be doing, because it was not going to be good for their side, basically. And that's a very small little explanation of it. And I've had numerous people over the years when I was trying to find the answers. So I share this to confirm with what you're sharing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So, and I mean, this is not the first 4 that's going to come up for you. So not only, I mean, you've got like sunshine in abundance. So the core theme here is in your pre-1940, in your material world, for you to feel that you were going to be able to succeed in a material world, you had to work very hard, and you had to overcome your challenges. You had to overcome your physical as well as your paranormal and your soul fragmentation challenges, and the light and the opening door. The door is key.
Okay.
Because that you had to have the 4 to open that up. So you're a glass half full person. You're a great achiever. The shape of Dalet is like these cups that are all sort of joined together. So it's about your cup running over, and it's about repeating again and again and again. So you are economically gifted. So if you
I was just
you're never going to make
start embracing that part.
You're never going to be without money.
That's true.
And you've got through access, you understand the cycle of money, that it can't be stagnant.
No.
So you're a great investor. And if you you're a bit like my grandma. You give more. Nice. You understand, if you give more, it's going to come back tenfold.
Actually, when you shared that, yes, when you shared that, and I was going to say it, but you just said it. When you shared that about your grandmother, yes, I've learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That when you give, you're never without, because it will always be returned back. And you don't give it with the intent, for people listening, that, if I give this away, it's going to come back. It just happens. You don't focus on it, right?
Absolutely. And also talking about your palliative care, part of the reasoning behind you do that so well is you are so in tune with your earthly nature, in the cyclical nature of life and death and birth. So the desolate states of that, while you go down, you are never stuck in that, because you understand that there is no such thing as death. And that just because it doesn't exist on this plane doesn't mean to say that it never existed or it doesn't exist somewhere else. And that is, again, it's a key part of your talent. And that's one of the things that you're brought here to tell people. It's a key message for you to get out there, to keep telling it over and over again.
Thank you for all of this.
So your worldly goals are a 4-4 again, exactly the same. So your talents are feeding into your goals.
Interesting.
Which then puts your challenges. Well, that happened. Okay, I can put that to one side. That made me who I am. But actually, that was then, this is now. So your worldly goals are completely in alignment with your talents. So you don't need other people to overcome your challenges, because you do it all by yourself. Powerful lady. Again, you have the ability to spot patterns. So with the 4-4 in the worldly goal position, you've got the positiveness of the talents, Plus, you've actually got the end game there now with your talents. So they're not just there and floating around and I don't know what to do with them. Your goals are aligned with them. So you know where you're going to go and you know what's going to happen at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't easy to always trust people. The loyalty element.
I do have to, and I never realized that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give Julie a shout out. And she never brought this up. It was a revelation to me when I had that session, that holy cow, I have issues sometimes trusting people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Turning past experiences with people into your own wisdom and new alliances. Mm-hmm. So no relationship is ever wasted with you. You learn, you grow, you move on. Mm-hmm. You know how to create successful alliances going into the next part of your life. You have this innate sense. And again, it's this repeating, this repeat of the good stuff just keeps going. So you know how to form the right partnerships for the right job wherever you are, mm-hmm. Whether it's the practical caring role, whether it's the spiritual advisor. What you do incentivates your soul to achieve the right direction and to stay on your soul's path. You are absolutely focused on your path. You know deep in your core why you're here and what you've got to do. And you've known that from the day that you screamed your first breath. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we're now looking up to the upward part of your triangle. So this is, well, okay. I've had, the big I am. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know what I've got to do. But there must be more to life than this. Where do I go from here? So we look at your challenge. So what's stopping you? What are the issues that might stop you? So here we've got a 16-7. So again, earth energies. Okay. Key with you. But also energies of communication. So in a challenge position, I know what I want to say, but I don't quite know how to do it.
100%.
How do I go about it? And I've got to find a way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the 16 is Ian. And this you can see by the picture is 2 arrows going into the ground. So
okay.
Again, mm-hmm. Grounding quality, down to earth personality, very, very Capricorn, straight-laced energy. Mm-hmm. But also there is an anger there. Mm-hmm. So at this point in your life, there's stuff held over from that fragmentation that, I still don't understand it. And why did that happen? And how did that 100%. Happen? Could I do this differently?
Yeah.
The problem is that you internalize that. Mm-hmm. Very, very much so. I mean, you went out there, you're a big, bold lady. You get out there, but the core of it was stuck. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you were just hurting yourself. So, right. But we'll get into that in your talent. So interesting, the organ that is associated with
liver
Ian is the liver. Yeah.
Liver, I know.
Liver. Which in Hebrew, Ian is the eye, which signifies the window to the soul and the inner light. And in Chinese medicine, the eye and the liver are the same word.
Interesting. Wow.
So, and again, this is in the challenge position. So we're not seeing the anger. We're not putting the anger out there. Everything is being internalized here.
Always, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's the hurting. So again, the challenge is here is my light is here, but actually, do I want to shine it? No, because I don't know what the hell is going on. It's physically there.
I feel like that right now. And I always tell my audience I'm very open. Right now, I feel that's why when you said I was so grateful you did this, and you guys, this isn't a full session. This is just a mini session. So
Oh
imagine
yeah, very
if you
many.
contact Tina and book a session with her, how incredible it's going to be. But that's why I was looking forward to this. Like
Oh, bless
2025
you.
was the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was gone,
Yeah.
but I feel exactly like what you just say, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm validating what you're
Yeah.
saying
Thank
about
you.
how
No. You interrupt as much as you like.
Mhm.
The interesting thing about the I in your challenge as well is how you perceive others
Right.
in life,
Mhm.
because that outweighs everything, because you do have a sense of that, and your
Mhm.
challenge will get you to question it.
Mhm.
But what I would say is, don't question it. That's your challenge,
Okay.
is to not believe. Your
Okay.
perception is right because it is in the challenge position. The challenge is telling you, it's the belief in yourself that is the challenge there. It's not what is physically happening out there.
Okay. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, do you see the glass half full or half empty? Your natural rhythm is the glass half full. But
Yes.
when you're in the challenge position, it's, well, I don't know about that. Is
I
life,
have to
is
say
life that good?
100%,
Yeah.
100%, and it's very foreign to me.
Yeah.
And it's been the last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the last year, and it's very foreign to because I am a glass
Yeah.
half, half full.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you are hitting the nail on the head totally
Good.
100%. Mhm.
Cool. And that is only part of your challenge. So you can see why you've had a hectic time.
Yes. Yeah.
So, because then you've got the 7, which is Zayn in the challenge position.
Okay.
And again, it's your 4s reluctant to show your light. Well, I don't know. Maybe I need to dumb it down a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not as integrated as I was, going back to the physicality of your youth. I'm not young anymore.
Right.
Should I be doing this? Should I be
Yeah.
looking at something else? I've lost so much in my life,
Mhm.
that the light's gone out there. There's a challenging element of mistrust. You could very easily in the challenge position go in and be a hermit, very, very
Yes.
easily, not ground,
Mhm.
not receive,
Yep.
go into your own spiritual dimension, but not do what you are here
Yep.
to do.
Yep.
So, and then you go into imposter syndrome.
Yep.
I don't
Mhm.
deserve. What will people say? I used to fit in. I used to be a nurse.
Yep.
I've got these psychic gifts, but this has happened to me, and this has happened to my family around me, and I've had this taken away from me. And,
Yeah.
so there's all this going on. It's flipping huge. There you've got your life, your left side rises here with reticence to engage and participate when you
Yep.
start this work. And I'm reading it because it was such a profound statement. Your left side rises here with a reticence to engage or participate when and where you start in this work. You start with presenting a facade to hide the true nature of your spirituality. There is an element of self-sabotage, how you
Yes.
want people to see you. Your reclusive nature is coming out here. There's a challenge of others where you have difficulty in receiving. The
Yeah.
value of your soul is being called upon to connect to it and step away from that challenge. Now is your time.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, it was a big waffle, but literally, as I channeled it, I literally wrote it verbatim, because when you do the soul plan through the book, I just get keywords,
Mhm.
and then to go in with the person, I then channel it, and then I get the true nature of what
You
those
are
words mean.
100% dead on. I'm going to remind
Thank you.
you because I could listen to you all night. We got about 14 minutes left.
Lovely. I just need 5 minutes
You guys, I may not connect with what she's sharing because I know it was I didn't know any of this. I'm hearing it brand new like you are. But just imagine having a full session like this and getting this much clarity. And the reason why I keep interrupting is because Tina, like I can't say that, like everything she's saying is exactly 100% what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, it's you.
Well,
so spiritual talents.
Mm-hmm.
So this is awesome. This is what's going to get you through. So this is a catalytic master energy.
Interesting.
So when you look at the picture of it, it's like a magnetic link.
It is.
But it's got 2 gaps in it.
Yeah.
And that is impermanence. So it actually means that you've got the magnetic links, the chain opening in 2 places, so nothing is forcibly held. So it's free will. Okay. You can be held if you want to, but you can also let it go. It's that impermanence. Okay. Here we've got the Hebrew word Zalin, the sword of dynamic unifying energy. Okay. It's Gemini, it's the twins, it's action, integration, the human existence, and you are the pivot in the middle of this. So you are the temple, you are the north, south, east, and west, as above, so below. Okay. So it's all there. So you can pull on anything you like, wherever you like. Okay. Again, double number, expressed as a pair, super, super powerful. Okay. So you have the ability with your own gifts and talents to overcome your spiritual challenges here again, because of your magnetic, your objective, and your logical. Very important. You can be demonstrative. By God, that is huge. But you do it in such an open-hearted way. It is accepting of everyone, because Lorilai's right, I understood what she said. Mm-hmm. Gosh, he said it in such a way. I take that on board. You get people to listen. Mm-hmm. Again, this cup overflowing, repeat, start again, repeat, eat, sleep, repeat. You're a networker, a facilitator.
100%.
With the versatility to encourage and bring out the best in people. So you are the archetypal superwoman here, hon. You are.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. You don't know how much I needed to hear this. Thank you. Thank you.
You're popular, and you're an activist. And not all activists are popular. Mm-hmm. Some activists are a pain in the. Yeah. You're not. You are listened to, and you have touched and changed so many lives. When I went into this, I just got voices from everywhere saying she doesn't know this. But she changed my life through doing this. She changed that. And this has happened. So you have touched lives over and above anyone that I've ever done a soul chart for up to now. And I'm sorry, guys, if anyone's around.
Maybe that's why I love the movie It's a Wonderful Life, because it really has so much meaning with the fact that every person on this planet has no idea how many people, that you've affected in a good way. Yeah. Right? A lot of people never find out. It's you at a funeral or whatever. So thank you for that.
Yeah. No, I mean, you inspire, you draw like-minded people towards you. Again, because of this 7-7, the door opens, the light shines. Mm-hmm. And that gives you, and the more your light shines, the more spiritual expansion you've got. The one thing that you've got is a Zen-like focus. When you make your mind up to do something, nothing, if you've got a creative project of any kind, nothing can take you off of that. So not only are you a good starter, you're a good finisher as well. You don't always get the ending that you anticipate.
Exactly.
But the focus is there. Yeah. The focus is there for you to follow through. You have an adaptable, logical energy. Again, 100% creative. Whatever anything in the arts that you do, you do it well.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my spiritual connection is creativity.
So strong. Mm-hmm. And it's all around your levels of expression and unifying your experiences. So your true talent here, to end this bit, has been the help and support you have given those you don't even know that you've helped. And I put it down twice, and I will say it again for a third time to make it, to completely and utterly validate it. People came through when I was channeling, and I'm not kidding you. It was like I had a whole orchestra in my head. I couldn't pick out one single thing, because you've helped people on so many different levels, whether it's your nursing, whether it's your radio show, whether it's your creativity and sharing stuff. It's all there. It's all there on so many different levels. So I'm going to move on swiftly to your spiritual goals.
Yeah, because we got about 7 minutes. I want to give you time for people to find out where to reach you too.
Right. Yes. So 4-2, spiritual and abundance. Again, the 4, radiant sunshine. I don't need to repeat that. 22 shows your soul is near completion. So in your soul chart, very unusual. You started with the mother letter, Aleph, and you're ending with your 22 with Tav, which is Jupiter. It's about the mouth, talking. Funny that. Direction is everywhere. The temple, north, south, east, west. It's about polarities, beauty, and ugliness. And the most important thing is we go to the middle, which is your star of destiny. So this is when you open up your star, and this is what you were here to do. This is where you bring awareness. This is where you're at. And it is 9-9, which is Tet, which is the snake, the dragon energy, the steely electrical impulses, the peacemaker, the power giver, the protector, the resistance, the power of Leo embodying innate qualities of self-belief and an inner knowing, claiming your full potential and power, living a life of service, innate growth in others, secure in your ability to deal calmly with frustrating situations. You embody composure, diplomacy, and compassion. There is a knowledge and a know-how that no one can tell you the truth. No one can speak your truth like you. You are the absolute wholeness of yourself as you come into your full conscious unity, your soul, and you express the divinity within, and you become one with love and the stability you embody. Your hearing is in this as well. Hearing is a very key part of this. And I think it's more than hearing. It is you don't just hear with your ears. You act with your brain, with active listening, and then you empathize, and then you act some more. Quick soul message: serve and you will be served, for you have power, protection, and love. Trust your connection, for it will take you to your true home. You are now one with the same force that brought you into creation. Express the highest truth, for you are the living embodiment of your essence. Bless you.
Wow. That was so powerful. And so many people have been commenting, saying, amazing, amazing indeed. Like, thank you very much. What a beautiful gift. And I can't thank you enough for that. So Tina, it has been a pleasure to have you. It's just flown by. You guys, I'm having Tina back on if she'll have me. We're going to have her back on because
it's been fun.
How can people get a hold of you? And because, guys, this was a mini reading. So you guys, when Tina talked about what she does in a full session, I think what a gift for each and every one of you. And you guys know, normally I don't say this to people, like to book with people. I'll give them that platform, but my God, that's life-changing, because I needed to hear this right now. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a joy. I love doing soul planning. I love bringing validation.
So how do they find you? How do they find you? How do they book?
Oh, they found me with my email. My email is up the top there. It's It's tina.lumisol@gmail.com. I don't have a website. I don't have anything. I do
And
a
you're
lot
on
of stuff by
Instagram.
word of mouth.
And you're on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Tina B, and there's a few numbers, but you'll see my face. You can't miss me. There's not many of us.
So I'll read. Sorry. Yeah. Kevin says she needs to come back again and again. Great show. Everybody's
Thank
saying
you,
the same
Kevin.
thing. Thank you, Kate Sterling. She says, wow, Tina. And I did see Benno. I think I don't, hopefully I didn't miss anybody else to say hi. I waved at you, so hopefully you saw it. She says, wow, Tina, this soul destiny reading has been absolutely fascinating. And she said, thank you, Lorilei, for doing this live. Archetypal Superwoman is so powerful and beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Thank you. So
Thank
you guys, I've got just a few minutes yet left to tell you, don't go anywhere because there's more great programming coming up after this live. And we have next about, well, it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be 8:10. I believe around that time they'll go live. It'll be Dolly Saffron and Preston Dennett with the Light Gate. I want to thank Carnation for always sponsoring our shows here on Mondays on UPRN. So if you are out, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, out shopping around the world and in need of something that Carnation provides, please consider purchasing from them because they support us here and it connects us with you, and we love that. So please consider, and thank you again to Carnation for doing that. I'm going through my checklist here just in case I forget anything here. Where did we go here, girl? Well, what I'll say if I'm looking at it is if you guys ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on any social media platform. Usually Facebook Messenger is the fastest. I do psychic readings. I do crystal Reiki. I do Akashic Records as a practitioner. I do energy healing, therapeutic touch, which means I don't have to touch you. It's a misnomer, but it works with your energy. And I'm also doing teaching and mentoring. So you can get a hold of me at the moment at facebook.com/theangelrock, or again, any social media platform. But I am working on a domain name website. Tina, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Everybody is loving you. The comments here, really enjoying it.
Thank you.
So
I've enjoyed it.
Have Tina back on. So thank you. It's late over there too, you guys. It's almost 1 a.m.
I'm buzzing. It's just like talking to an old friend, Lorilei. I love it.
My God, I know. I was so not that I don't look forward to my show. I love doing my show, but you know what? When I knew it was going to be such a fun show tonight to have you on, so I'm so glad and I can't wait to have you back on. You guys, we love y'all, and I will see you next. Oh, I looked up who was coming next. Oh, I know, Chris Laterreur. I have to touch base with him. I haven't talked to him in a bit. He is coming back on. For those of you that don't know him, he was one of the boys of Montauk and has quite a difficult childhood that he went through. He has since started to embrace that the series Stranger Things, and he's got quite a bit of evidence he believes was based on him and some of the children that were part of Montauk. There's MK Ultra programming and all kinds of stuff. So we will get caught up with Chris. Maybe we can get him to talk more about the Montauk chair and some of the technology and the things that he experienced there. So it'll be next Monday on the Angel Rock. All right, you guys, got less than a minute left. Hang on, Tina. Don't go anywhere. You guys, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Dolly and Preston. And we'll see you next Monday, everyone. Love y'all.